Hello and welcome to the Gate 102 podcast. Thanks for tuning in and hope you're all doing well. Today I was talking about a time England drew 0-0 with Brazil at Wembley Stadium back in November 2017. Just like last episode really, despite the scoreline being goalless, there's quite a lot to talk about. Quite a lot happened, so I'll start as we always start by going through the England team. So it's Joe Hart in goal. And this was actually his last game in England shirt, his 75th last cap. Marking the end of an era. It was then a back five with Kyle Walker and Ryan Bertrand as the wing-backs, so quite defensive wing-backs to be honest. Then three centre-backs of John Stones and Harry Maguire selected again. And also Joe Gomez. This was Gomez's first start for England after making his debut in the previous game against Germany as a substitute. So a nice moment for him, and Southgate knew him well after working with him in the under-21s. So it was then a three in midfield of Eric Dyer, who's captain once again, and he played alongside Jake Livermore and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And to finish off, it was a front two consisting of Jamie Vardy and Marcus Rashford. So a very fast and pacey front line. I mentioned it being Joe Hart's final appearance in England shirt. It was also the last time we saw Bertrand and Livermore, two players who picked up a decent amount of caps between them. So yeah, it was gradually Southgate was taking away these players that had played a lot under Hodgson. So Brazil were obviously a better team than England, goes without saying, in terms of quality. And the team Southgate put out was, once again, very young and very inexperienced. Having watched the game back, Brazil had most of, if not all, the chances across the game. The team should be proud of themselves, though, how they defended on the night against some tough opponents in was Neymar, Coutinho, Gabriel Jesus as well. So a tough night for England, and England didn't have much of the ball. Brazil dominated both halves of the game. And it was a risk from Southgate, to be honest, putting such an inexperienced team out against such quality. But his decision was vindicated, as the young Lions were incredible throughout. And I personally think it was after this game when Southgate had in his mind that he would play Stones and Maguire together in the World Cup. So he learned a lot, and the pair of them, Stones and Maguire, were brilliant alongside Gomez as well with the wing-backs, and everyone defended really well. And it was almost as if like England were playing as the away team because they had less of the ball, was sitting very deep, and it's often rare you see the home team just sit back and almost accept the draw. That's what England did, and did it successfully. In the second half, Liverpool striker Dominic Solanke came on to make his first cap. He actually came close to scoring, which would have been a dream start for him. Just miscontrolled the ball before he could lift it over the goalkeeper, which was a shame. But a debut for him. And I think the thing that was noticeable throughout the game was Brazil kept having shots from really far out, from outside the box. I think it shows how well England play, because England was sitting so deep, it meant that any opportunities Brazil had came from quite far out. And although it was his last cap, I thought Joe Hart had a brilliant game, making some really crucial saves and allowing the scoreline to remain a draw. And Hart became the first England goalkeeper to keep a clean sheet against Brazil since Peter Shilton in 1984. So over 30 years there. Hart was brilliant, and overall it was a really defensive, solid performance from Southgate, from the whole team. It ended the camp involving 2 0-0 draws against two of the best teams in the world. So overall, a decent set of matches from Gareth Southgate's point of view. And as always, the main thing about these friendlies is that you learn a lot from them, and he'd have learned a significant amount, not just from this game, but the Germany game as well. I think the back three system worked well in these two games, which might have been the factor and the reason behind playing it in the World Cup, because it worked well this game, and a lot learned as well. And many players given the debut. I mentioned Solanke today. We had Gomez, Pickford, Jack Cork, Abraham and Loftus-Cheek in the previous game. So, yeah, it was a decent camp overall. In terms of the atmosphere of the game, I know a lot of people moan about the atmosphere at Wembley, but Brazil had the samba band, and I can't work out whether a band from another country makes the atmosphere better or worse. I can't really work it out, but although fair play to the Brazilian fans who travelled down on the night and they never stopped being vocal all game, played their instruments throughout, so fair play to them. Right, that concludes that game. So, yeah, a night where Southgate would have learned a significant amount going into the World Cup. Just a shame that Solanke couldn't nick a goal at the end. So my next 2 episodes will be the friendlies against Holland and Italy, which were played in March 2018. And then I'll do my Sam Allardyce Christmas special, which I'm currently working on. So that'll be before the World Cup. So yeah, lots of content coming soon. Right, that just leaves me to say, as always, thanks for listening. And until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you soon.